Hmm.
Yes? Okay, perfect, perfect. That's me with longer hair. As you notice, it still just sticks straight up. Okay, so I have come to you prepared. I am so excited to share this information with you. I'm excited because this is proven methods to get cars into your shop today. I know we're in some interesting economic times, and this is the way you're going to be able to do it. I know that Washington has been shut down for quite a while. This is a proven method for you that you can implement into your shop immediately. Two different methods we're going to talk about. First one is about text marketing, how it works, why it works, and how you can protect yourself. And then second thing we're going to talk about is about shop videos, where to post them, how often to post them, what that should look like for your shop. So first of all, let's jump into text marketing. What is it? How does it work? We need to look at some interesting stats first. Number one, this is proven to be 4 times the amount of open rate with your customer, text messaging. 88% of people surveyed agreed that their smartphone or their cell phone, the first thing they're using it for is for text messaging. 29% of consumers said they don't even listen to their voicemails. And if it's like my children, we don't even have their voicemail set up. It's not even an option to leave voicemails. So open rates are extremely high. 90% of adults in America today, 90% of adults have their smartphone within arm's reach. They can just reach out right now and grab a hold of it. So when a text message comes through, shazam, they've got it right there in front of them. And then also, as we talk about open rates of 98% within 24 hours, if we compare that with email at 25%, this is absolutely killing the email campaigns. It's an absolutely proven method, because also consider that 90% of those text messages you sent out, 90% are opened or seen within 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That is very awesome. This is a proven communication method. This is proven that this is how our customers want to communicate. They want text messages. And why? Why do a text message? Because it's precise. It's to the point. It's short. It's not a long drawn on advertisement. So within text communication, there are 3 different types of methods that you can implement with your text marketing. We're going to talk about each one of these. The first one is just that. It's text marketing. This is where you set up a campaign to send out to your customers after their cars have left the shop. You are soliciting them to come back into the shop. This is like a lot of times we'll set up an email blast to blast out to all of our customers. Same idea. We're going to set up a blast to blast our current customer base. And this is stuff that you can do from the shop today. You can do it tomorrow. We're going to talk about these methods and what it looks like. The second method is text messaging. This is what we're used to using it for, is the communication back and forth directly with customers, one-on-one communication, quick and easy. We know what that is. The third one is, and this is extremely important, texting to build your reviews. Absolutely fabulous. This is a great way of building your Google reviews. We're going to deep dive into what that looks like, how you can send it, what messages you can make, what pictures you can create, the logos you can send. We'll talk about that here in a second. So let's dive into what is text marketing. It's creating a message that you're going to send to a specific demographic of customer, whether it's based on the amount of money they've spent or the time they've been. And it's very precise. It's to a point. And most important, it has a call to action. Make sure you come in this week to take advantage of this option. Make sure you call us today to take advantage of this thing. So I've got a couple of ideas. Those of you who might run into a little bit of writer's block, I've got some ideas that we're going to share, and we'll talk about them and what they look like in creating what might be the best idea for your shop. Before we do that, this is the preferred method of communication. This means that a text message, it allows you to engage your audience instantly, and instantly you're able to get a response from that audience. This is also the method that comes with a public service announcement. And I'll tell you what that announcement here is in a second. Let's go into, holy cow, oh my word, my screen is gone. The one that gives all the ideas. Okay, so here's the ideas to put out there. Hey, Brenda, this is Jimmy Super Shop. Sometimes you need a sign. Well, here's your sign. It's time to come into my shop. Okay, so that's a good message, but let's put a call to action that's a little bit better to say, here's your sign. Come into my shop this week by Friday to take advantage of, and you give a special. There's a lot of different options. The important thing in here is to make sure that you have that call to action. Very important to have that call to action in every single one. And you put a timeline on it. That helps get directly to the point for those customers. This is their preferred method. It is a short, precise message. Most text messages need to be 160 characters or less. And why do that? Because some carriers will split up the message if you're over 160 characters. So sometimes your message might not come through in the exact same order as what you sent it. So it now becomes confusing. You don't want that situation to happen. So make sure it's precise, it's to the point, and it has a call to action that gets that customer into you as quickly as possible. And we'll talk about what those look like too. So text marketing methods, you have a cell phone, your service advisor has a cell phone. Shoot, you could get a shop cell phone, or you could do it from a desktop. My favorite method is from a desktop. If you've got a MacBook Air, it's got a text messaging feature in there. You could copy and paste and send text messages all day. Now here's the danger. If you are doing the text messaging, if your service advisor is doing the text messaging, if you have a shop cell phone that is doing the text messaging, and the carriers are monitoring and seeing these messages going out, and it's the same exact message to multiple people, you could find yourself barred. That phone number could be turned off and not allowed to send text messages anymore. Take it a step further. If you're sending the exact same message and you are marked as spam so many times, then you become part of a losing lawsuit because you're going to lose because you're spamming customers. This is also bad. You don't want to do that. So make sure you find a method that works perfectly that is going to protect you. There's software out there in the industry that will protect you, that is set up right. And also think about it. If your service advisor is doing all of this texting from their personal cell phone, and then they magically decide to walk out the front door because they've taken an opportunity across town or down the street or across the street, your entire customer base has just walked out the front door with your service advisor. Not where you want it to be going. That would not be good. So the text message that I prefer is the desktop text method, because you can have your point of sale system up on one computer screen, and on the second screen, you can have this texting that's going back and forth between you and the customer. You've got the entire history of the vehicle right along with the entire history of communication with that customer. Makes it quick and easy. Now, here's also a public service announcement for you as well. This is a two-edged sword. It cuts going both ways. I had a friend that put this method into use. He texted an oil special to his entire customer base, 6,500 people. And the beauty is it proved how effective this marketing method is. For the next 3 weeks, he was absolutely booked out. His technicians hated him. His service advisors hated him. And why? Because here it was an oil special that he sent out to 6,500 customers. Don't do that. Send it in small increments, 100, 200. Find your feet with this. Find what works. Make sure you're doing the A/B testing, sending one message, test it, see how it works, then change it and do a separate message to a different group of people. See what your return rate is. See what your open rate is. Make sure that you are actually sending to cell phones. This is important. So he sent it out, 6,500 people. His technicians hated him. Remember that part? And his service advisors hated him. Remember that part? Worse than those two hating him was the third, and that's the customer. was livid. And why were they livid? Because the message said, we've got space available. Call us now to take advantage of this oil special. They called in and they're saying, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean I can't get my car in? I've got to wait 3 weeks? Oh my gosh, how terrible. Customers were upset as well because it didn't live up to that expectation that was set. Let's also talk about another thing. Here comes the car, day one of the oil special. Day one, technicians are doing their digital inspection. They are documenting everything that needs to be repaired on the vehicle. They're looking at everything that's worn, torn, leaking, frayed, broken, cracked, leaking, and they're documenting it. Now they create a $1,200, $1,500, $1,800 invoice or estimate for the customer, and the service advisor sends it to the customer. Customer approves it. Hallelujah, great. Hey, Mr. Customer, we need to book you out for this appointment like 4 weeks down the road because I'm back to back with oil changes for the next 3 weeks. Is that a good way to do business? Heck no. Heck no, it's not a good way to do business. Customers were livid. Now imagine all of this work that was estimated, given to the customers, approved for work. How much of that work actually came back to the shop, do you think? It was less than 10%. Less than 10%. How devastating is that? Your technicians did all the work to document it. Your service advisors did all the work to estimate it. They did all the work to send it to the customer, communicate, get their approval with it, and you couldn't do it. So the public service announcement is take it in small increments, 100 at a time, 200 at a time. And I would even spread this out between 2 days. Send 100 today, see how it works. Now tomorrow, I'm going to send another 100. I'm going to change up the message, see if we can't increase the open rates, increase their call rates, the conversion rates. I'm telling you, this is an amazing program. It works extremely well. And you will get results from it, for sure. All right, now let's get in a little bit. Let's go in and talk about this. Let's get our hands dirty with this. What does it look like? Now that we're going to talk about creating the message, providing value to the customer, be clever, be humorous, insert a little comedy into this, but also be smart about your marketing. And we'll talk about what that smart looks like. Measure what you're doing. Measure it. You need to have a way of measuring between your point of sale system and your text messaging system so that you know what messages are working and what messages are returning the most amount of money. And then the last thing we're going to talk about on this topic is the legal requirements. There is something very specific that you need to do with all of your customers, and that's to get them to opt in. We'll talk about what that looks like. First, let's go to our messages. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-based. The most important one here in my estimation here is time-based. I really like putting that call to action so the customer knows that there's an urgency in getting this done. There's an urgency that needs to happen here. And so here we go. Goodbye winter sale, get $5 off your next visit, come to Jimmy's Super Shop, hurry in. Yeah, I love this, but I also hate it. I don't like the hurry in. I want the hurry in to be hurry in today to take advantage of this offer. Hurry in by Friday to take advantage of this offer. I like a specific time period. Hi, Brenda. It's Jimmy Super Shop. We've got a limited time special on oil changes. Contact us now. I love this and I hate it. I love it and I hate it. And I love it because we're getting that message out there. And I'm not a fan because of the contact us now. Contact us today. Contact us this week. This is the strongest one of these ideas that you've got going here. So craft your message, craft different versions of your message. And you may find that with your market, these types of messages where the hurry in, contact us now, or we hope to see you soon, maybe that does work for your market. Test it, prove what works for your market and absolutely implement it. Because that's where it definitely needs to live. So now we've created the message, created the content. We need to choose the recipients. In your point of sale system, print out a report for the last year, exclude everybody from the last 2 months, stay with everybody from 2 months to 12 months. this is where you're deciding who you're going to contact and why, what the message is. Maybe you also want to exclude anybody that only spent $100, excluding, the people that weren't buying what your recommendations were. Let's get to the top tier customers. Maybe it's people that spent over $300 or $500 or $1,000. Who are we really gearing this towards? So choose your recipients. Once you have this list, it still might be quite large, break it down to a smaller list or take it in increments, sending out 100 at a time, 100 a day. Because you may find that this very quickly fills up your schedule and you don't have enough room. So we need to measure it. And you see here, I've got two spreadsheets below. One is a printout from your point of sale system, and the other one is your tracking the phone numbers, tracking your cell phones that you're texting to. And you've got the way of being able to integrate both so you can see which cell phones are walking through the front door that are responding to your text messages. So you want to know things to measure is your deliver rates. You may think you have cell phones, but really you don't. They got rid of the number. It's been disconnected. Oh, it's a landline. So you want to keep up that data and update your information. Track the revenue and the conversion. How much are you actually making? How much does this message make you versus this message? Which one is the better message to use? And then you also want to look at your subscription growth rate. Make sure that you're able to fill the bucket faster than you're losing people, because there are going to be some people who will opt out of this option, which is also important. You need people to opt in on this motion. They need to opt in for receiving a text marketing message from you. So sometimes they'll say, oh, well, it's my service advisor that is sending out the text messages and he's acting on his own behest. Well, actually, no. Your service advisor works for the company, is an employee of the company, and is acting on his own fruition, sending it from his own cell phone. That means he's an officer of the company, an employee of the company. He represents the company. That's not a safe way of doing this. When we get the opt-ins, you want to make sure that you have track record and a way of tracking this information. Again, my favorite is desktop texting. It makes it so easy. You can type faster with your two hands than you can with two thumbs. It keeps it safe and secure. Your database or your customer base is not going to walk out the front door, or if it did, it's going to take a heck of a lot more to pick up that computer and take it out through the front door. And text messaging, text marketing, it also allows that two-way text messages going back and forth so you can have that conversation with your customers and point of sale system up at the same time. So let's talk about reviews. Then I'm going to talk about the legal side of things. For reviews, reviews have become the word of mouth marketing. Reviews is how your neighbors, your community, your market are going to tell your neighbors and friends that your shop is a great place to work at. So how often should we send reviews? Should it be just once a week? Should it be just once a month? And I'm going to tell you no. In fact, you need to do it every day. And there's a couple of reasons for this. The review quantity, the review velocity, and the diversity. This is very important that you have this in your review base. Because if all your reviews come on the first week of the month and then you have 3 weeks of crickets, Google algorithms, they see that and they see that you're stacking the deck. They don't like that. They really like it when customers come in and they're leaving it on a regular basis, maybe once a day that they're leaving a review, or maybe it's twice a day or 4 or 5 within a week. That works. The exit interview, as your service advisor is saying, thank you very much, Mr. Customer, here's your invoice. Thank you very much, here's your keys. And by the way, we build our business on word of mouth marketing. In a day, I'm going to send you a text message. If you feel so inclined, would you please give us a review of your experience here at the shop? Build it up, build it so that the customer expects it, they see it's coming through, and they will respond. This is where you want to be. So you want the diversity, you want the quantity, you also want the diversity. A 5-star is great. You also need 4, 3, 2, and 1. Why? Because nobody is a 5-star shop all the time. We are human. And as humans, we make mistakes, but we also care. And we want to build that relationship with our customer. And because we care, we're going to go into the reviews and we're going to respond to all of them, positive or negative, and respond to all of them. You need that 1-star review that says, man, they really messed up. And you come in and say, yeah, right. You're totally right, man. We did totally mess up. Here's my number. Give me a call and let's make it right. Show the human side, show the relationship. We are in the relationship business. We just happen to work on cars. Make sure that you respond to all your reviews. And by the way, when you're sending this text message to your customers to get a review, send them your reviews page on Google My Business. Send them the reviews page. Make it easy for them to leave you a review. If you want them to hunt and peck and find it, it makes it more difficult. It's not a good thing. They're not going to leave you a good response. They're not going to leave you a good review. And they may not even leave a review because they can't find it. That's the worst scenario. So make it easy. Send them directly into, so when they click the link in the text message, shazam, they're right in there ready to leave a review for your shop. Beautiful way of doing it. And this is a beautiful way to build your business. You can set up with some artwork, so thank yous. You can say, send them your logos and have that as part of your message in these text messages going out to your customer. You can do these from your cell phone, but I'm going to tell you that the best way of doing it is from your desktop. It makes a big difference. Make sure you're responding to all text. Make sure you're responding to all reviews, positive and negative. Why? All right, I'm gonna put you in on a little bit of secret here. All positive and negative. Negative, we know why. You need to own it, take care of it, take it offline, show the relationship. Reply to all positive reviews. Now listen real closely. Everybody's taking notes. You want to write this down. This is important. When replying to the positive reviews for Jimmy Lee, you'd say, thank you, Jimmy. We appreciate your trust in Dave's Super Shop. We enjoy working on your Ford F-150, on your brakes, transmission, shocks, and struts. We're here for you when you need us again. Now, what have I just done in that Google review? Man, have I left some important information. I've left the information that my shop, Dave's shop, works on Ford F-150s, on the brakes, the shocks and struts, and the transmissions. So important. This is some key information for you guys. What are we doing here? We're putting some key words into Google's review site. Google is the godfather of the internet. If you're going to play the game, you got to kiss the ring. This is one way of kissing that ring that goes a very long way, especially responding on positive reviews. Okay, so to the next thing. You've got to protect yourself. This is the legal side of it. According to the TCPA, and this is an act that was enabled to protect the consumer, not to protect you. This is for the consumer. You cannot spam them with your text marketing. If so, they're going to sue you. And if they sue you, you're going to lose. If you don't believe me, just ask Jiffy Lube. They were on the losing end of a multi-million-dollar lawsuit because they were spamming customers with marketing via text messaging. So you've got to gather opt-ins. This is specific. This TCPA goes specific into getting their authorization for text messaging. So I'm going to show you a couple different methods. The first method here is to have a pop-up window. And this pops up either on your home page or on your specials page or your contact us page. They're able to fill in their customer information. And you see this little box right here. It says that I would like to receive text marketing messages from Jimmy's Super Shop. Perfect. That's a great way of doing it. Your website provider can put this information out there, quick, simple, and easy. As they're doing it, make sure that they have a method of tracking who it was, when they did it, where they were located, and who gave the approval for the opt-in. You've got to have this information. Second option here, let's look here at the schedule an appointment. So on your website, you've got a button, schedule an appointment button. They're going to click that button. And as they request their 2 different times, you can have an option here to opt in to receive text messaging from your shop. Super powerful, great way of collecting it. Again, make sure your website provider is able to track this information so that they are able to provide it to you. Third method of collecting this information, and it could be an opt-in page directly on your website. So here's the opt-in page. subscribe to text messaging, get 10% off. When they subscribe, shazam, there you go. Customers are subscribing, they're opting in. You have to have it specifically. So I've had shops say to me, oh, Jimmy, I've already had my customers opt in to receive marketing from my shop via postcards and direct mailers and email. And that's the truth. They've opted in to receive marketing from your shop, but they haven't been specific. This TCPA is specific to text messaging. So the fourth method is a actual hard copy. So after you sign the invoice, you pay the invoice, the work order is complete, shut it down, everything's done. Thank you, Mr. Customer, here's your information. You have a separate piece of paper. Hey, Carl, this is how we build our business via word of mouth marketing. We build it via reviews. I'm going to send you a review. Wait, that's not what we're talking about. I'm sliding over a piece of paper to talk about text marketing. Text marketing, sliding over a piece of paper. Hey, Carl, would you sign this so that we can send you some specials in the future? We're going to send it out via text message. Was that okay? Carl's going to sign that because, of course, Carl wants to take advantage of all the opportunities and specials that come in the future. You've got to keep a copy of that inside of your shop. Very important. So that way, you've got a paper copy. Then when you go into your software, into your CRM or into your text marketing platform, and you manually opt them in, you've got a record of that transaction where they actually approved it. Okay, so that's method number 4. This is method number 5, and this is brand new with KuKui. This is an option. Many of them don't have it. Many of the softwares out there that have text marketing, they don't have this option. So here's the option. It's a keyword opt-in. So when you're sending out your emails or you're sending out your newsletters or your blog or you've got it on your website, you put in the phone number and you have a keyword for that opt-in that says oil change or Dave's Super Shop or whatever it might be, spring, offer, oil change, whatever it is. By them texting you from their cell phone that information, that word, they are then opted in and you can now use your text marketing with those customers. 5 different methods of collecting that opt-in. Extremely, extremely important. You have to have their permission for text marketing. So what's the difference between text marketing and just text messaging? If the car is in the shop, you can send a text message back and forth, no issues. The TCPA is not concerned with that portion of it. The TCPA is specific that after the car leaves, the work order is closed, the invoice is paid, and you are soliciting them to come back to the shop. That is where you need all the opt-ins. So 2 separate methods of text communication. When the vehicle is left is when you need that opt-in information. Okay, now I know you've got a ton of questions, comments, concerns. I want you to put them in the chat. This is very important. You've got to put them in the chat so that we can get to them when we're done and we'll talk about them. So the next method that I want to talk about as a bay filler, by the way, number 1 is an absolute bay filler. To number 2, why are shop videos so important to your shop? Because it's further the relationship with the customer. So what are you going to do? How do you do it? Where should you do it? I'm going to tell you that there's a lot of different places that you want to do this. Number 1, on your website, you want at least 3 professionally done shop videos. One that talks about your shop and why you're special. Another one that is a customer testimonial or 2 customers or 3 customers that are giving you props for being the best shop in town. And the third one you use as a technician recruiting tool. And this is on your About Us page. So with these 3 that are professionally done, that's another conversation. If you're interested in doing that, I'd be happy to help you out. In fact, give KuKui Carl a call and he can help direct you in the right way. There are other videos to do. Put them on your blog. By putting them on your blog, Google now sees the video on your blog. The second thing you want to do is translate everything you said in the video to be the paragraphs of information below it. This gives you custom content. It gives you the ability to drop keywords, and it increases your Google ratings, your Google grade, so that now Google knows that you work on Ford F-150s and on brakes and yada, yada. whatever it is that the video is about. This is where you want to drop this information, is in on your blog. It helps your website tremendously. Okay, so why videos? Shops that are doing videos, we have seen a 66% increase over other shops in engagement, in appointments, and qualified leads that are walking through the front door because they have videos. There's 3 different types of Facebook posts to put, and I'm going to talk specifically about Facebook, but translate that to social media. If you prefer Instagram, or you prefer TikTok, or you prefer some other method of social media, it's applicable. There's 3 different types. Number 1 is where you only have words. And Facebook has a lot of algorithms that track this type of information. If it's only words, you get a certain number of people that engage with you. If you have words and a picture, you double the engagement. Words and a picture, double the engagement. If you want to get 6 times the engagement, put on a video. The video captures people, that captures their attention, especially right now. People are at home. They're spending more time on their computer. They're spending more time on social media, on their cell phones. They are in front of their computers. They're in front of social media. They're looking at this information. So you want to absolutely turbo shot your shop, put videos out on your social media. So I have a lot of shops coming to me saying, hey, Jimmy, you know, I put out some information. I did it for a week. I've run out of things to talk about. And it's like, really? Are you sure? Do you have a shop pet? Oh yeah, Diesel the cat. He's always doing funny stuff. Okay, put stuff like that on there. How many white cars did you have in the shop today? How many red cars did you have? How many yellow cars did you have? When you focus in on that sort of a demographic, it's funny, but people hear that and they say, oh, red car day? I drive a red truck. I should come down to the shop. I've been meaning to get an oil change. And now all of a sudden your shop is flooded with red cars and trucks. It's amazing how it works. It's amazing. And it does work. It gets results. Post every day that you are open. Post every day. Why? 2 reasons. Number 1 is for the consumer. They need to know that you're open. They need to engage with you. The second one is for the algorithms of Facebook and Google. They need to know that you're open. They need to know that you're there. Sound kind of familiar, right? They need to know that you're open for business. And by posting these videos, you're telling them that you're open and you're engaged and you're there during business hours. The shops that I have seen that have done this the best and that are having record-breaking months, some are record-breaking months and some are able to, that they're not suffering as much as other shops in their area. So they may be down by 15, 20, 30, 40%, but everybody else in town is down by 50, 60, 80%. So if you want to increase your control the pain, control the risk, put out videos. Now here's a secret for you. Those of you taking notes, you want to write down 2 words, like and share. Like and share. So at the beginning of every video that you do, you want to tell people to like it and share it to their customer, or to their friends. And at the very end, you want to remind them to like it and share with their friends. Why? Once you understand why, it makes it easier. So when you post your video, you're going to get 200 to 300 views, somewhere in that range, 200 to 300. If you have 10 of those people to actually like it and share it, now you're going to reach their friend base. And from that friend base, you might get 200 to 300 views. So now you've gone from 300 views when you posted it to 3,000. You're reaching a much wider base. So always in every video, tell people to like it and share it, because this is valuable information to help them out. And do it. Do it every day. If you want some good examples, look at Gary Sapp in Pensacola, Florida. This is the guy that came to me and said, Jimmy, we're down. I need some help. I said, get the videos out there. He started doing it. He just started doing it. And then he came to me and says, I'm out of information. What do I do now? That's where we went to the Diesel, his cat that was there, and the white cars and the red cars. And Jimmy, I'm out. Where do I go now? Talk about your digital inspection. Talk about each of the items on your digital inspection, one per day. Now, if you're doing that, you've got enough information there to last you for the next 127 days, right? Okay, so this is really good information, really important. You want to have this videos, you want to have them on your site. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, Jimmy, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'm waiting. I'm starting. I'm gonna get started. I'm coming up with ideas," and I'm gonna tell you, just take the phone out of your pocket and go and do it. You probably know these two gentlemen. Here on the left is Greg Buckley, and on the right is Dave Toole. Dave Toole, after 5 months, 6 months of procrastinating and not doing videos, finally said, "All right, man, forget about it. Grab the camera. Come on, we're going to go shoot a video." And the video, his very first video that he did was shot from like an iPhone 3, 100 years ago. iPhone 3, he's shooting a video. It's of his shop truck. They were building a barn find, a beautiful rat rod inside the shop, and he went into the whole thing, and they actually started the engine because they said, "Today is the day we're going to get it started." So that's his first video. On the left, Greg Buckley, this video is shot from his BlackBerry, or his friend's BlackBerry, back in 2008. It's a beautiful video that is the only way of getting started. And when I say beautiful, I'm kind of kidding. It's terrible. Let me tell you that. It's terrible. The wind is blowing. You can barely hear Greg talking, but this video has had over 5,000 views on YouTube. Yes, you should go to YouTube and search it. He's talking about windshield wipers and ways of maintaining your windshield wiper using a cotton ball and alcohol to clean the windshield wiper. Oh my gosh, I love the video because of its raw beauty of getting started. So you've got all the equipment you need. It's in your pocket. You've got your Apple phone. You've got your Android phone. You are ready to start. All right. So don't go out and buy $20,000 of lighting equipment and cameras and stuff you don't need. Don't go there. You don't want any editing software. I'm telling you, don't do it. Do the one-hit wonders. You want to hit it, one continuous video. So you're going to ask me, what can I do to at least make sure I have a kind of good video? You want good audio. A good video is determined by good audio. Get yourself a microphone like this. Amazon, this one's $20 off of Amazon, this microphone here on the left. If you're an Android phone, Shazam, there you go. That's all you need. You're ready to rock and roll. If you have an iPhone, you're going to need the lightning converter to the 3.5. So this is everything you need. If you're an Apple phone, you're $25, $35 and you're ready to rock and roll. If you're an Android phone, all you need is the microphone. You're $20, $25 and you're ready to rock and roll. The audio goes in. It makes it easy for the consumer to consume it. It doesn't hurt. They're not going to change it because they can't hear you very well. It's important. The audio is key. So what I want you to pull away from this is shoot your videos. Start today. Once we hang up, once this webinar is finished, go out in the parking lot and introduce yourself, introduce your shop, introduce the absolute necessary services that you are providing to the public to make sure that they are safe on the road. Your concern is their concern, and you're here for them. You've got to start. You've got to do it. I appreciate being able to be with you here today. As you know, KuKui started in Hawaii. The word KuKui means enlightenment. The KuKui beads used to be used to light huts. I hope today I have enlightened your life and enlightened your thought process as to things you can do in your shop today to make a difference. You guys are all amazing. Thank you for staying to the very end. In fact, for all of us that are staying to the very end, I have a very special offer for you. How about a cup of coffee? Anybody here like coffee? Coffee's good for you. Coffee's for closers. John, Paulo. Yep, I'm liking that. I've got a special offer for you. This is my email address. Send me your contact information, including your name, shop name, and your email, and I'm going to send you a cup of coffee. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, I'm here for you. Also, here on the call is KuKui Carl. Any questions about websites, CRM, how it works, what works best? You got questions, you looking for answers, you're looking for different solutions, give KuKui Carl a call. He's a great guy. We can definitely hook us up together so that we can make this happen for you guys. I want to open this up to questions, comments, concerns from any of you, and we'll go to the chat. I'm not seeing any questions.
So we're all on it. Yes.
Boom. You're on it, Kurt. What's up, buddy?
Oh, nothing. Sorry. I'm repeating this call or this
Yes.
from yesterday. Sorry.
Yes. How did I do today compared to yesterday? What do you think?
Great. 99% the same.
And that's what we do.
Thank
We
you.
deliver a consistent message so you get the same information today as what was shared with yesterday. And yesterday they got a cup of coffee as well.
Good to see Howard on there too. Hi, Howard.
I think.
Hey, you guys are awesome. Thank you very much. I'm not seeing many questions popping through here, so.
Okay, well, thanks, Jimmy.
Hey, thank you so much for what you did. Great presentation. We learned a lot, and thank you for doing what you did today. We really appreciate it.
And if any of the attendees have any topics that they would like to hear, make sure and send it to Dave or Brenda or myself or Pamela, and let us know what topics you want to hear, and we'll get that up on a Zoom call in the next few weeks.
Hey, how do we get a hold of KuKui Carl?
KuKui Carl, it is in the chat right now. If you want Carl with a K at kukui.com. Carl, you on, or do you have a microphone?
I do.
Yeah, John and I. Oh, there he is. There's Carl.
Yep. How are you doing?
Good.
Good to see Keith on there too. Hi, Keith.
Did you have a question for KuKui Carl?
I do. So we've got KuKui for our web CRM, etc. And one of the problems we're having is we're dropping farther and farther. And we've been talking to our marketing person, and they basically told us that you guys just track revenue, that you don't really do CRM. So we had an outside company do an analysis of our website, and they could see at one point where we were doing really well, and this was like about a year ago, and it's just been going downhill since, and couldn't really get an explanation on that.
Well, we definitely have an explanation for you on that, and not to confuse terms. I believe what you meant to say instead of CRM is that SEO, search engine optimization. CRM is the customer relationship management.
Right, but I meant to say SEO, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so John, Carl, you know John?
I will. I'll get to know him. So what I'll do is I'll find out who his marketer is and check in. We'll definitely follow up with you.
Let's set up a meeting.
Find out, because it may be that it sounds like that person may not have given you the correct information. I mean, we absolutely do SEO. Google AdWords management, a ton of organic SEO. I mean, that's our jam. That is what we do.
Okay, because one of my buddies has KuKui, has his website, and he's at #1 at the list in his location, and he was saying that he just repeatedly calls in and says, hey, what's the deal? I'm dropping, blah 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 blah, and
Yeah, let's get that information. We can definitely take care of it.
I'll follow up.
John.
I wrote down your name for sure.
John, what's the name of your shop?
Bartender.
It's Cartender.
Cartender. Perfect.
Yep, I've got it written down. And so I got Paulo and then also John. So either one of you guys, or should I talk to you, John?
John.
Either speak to me or Russell.
Okay, got it. I'll follow up.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks.
No worries.
Anybody else? It. You're very welcome. Thank you, John. I appreciate you raising your hand there. Thank you. I appreciate that. Any other questions, comments, concerns? And yes, PJ, if you email me, I will be happy to send you a cup of coffee, brother.
No coffee for me, sir. I appreciate it very much, though.
You know, they have other refreshments at these coffee establishments besides coffee.
Well, I wouldn't want to take that from anybody else. So, let's send it to another shop owner that's going to use you guys' awesome service.
You got it.
Awesome.
I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate being here. And the meeting is back to you, Brenda, Jeff.
All
Dave?
right. Thanks, Jimmy. Sure appreciate it. Okay, with that, everyone go enjoy a beautiful afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Thank you.